Okay, and we're back. So now let's talk about the all-important and really fun, I hope, hands-on assignments in our course. The thing that I firmly believe is that if we tell you about a concept, great. If we show you how to do something related to that concept, even better. So in hands-on, you will be getting a variety of things that you do. And this is kind of true also, as I said before, with classwork, right? Is that there's a variety of tasks that you end up doing. But let me show you kind of the sample of some of the things I'm planning on for this semester. Okay? So matter of fact, so by the way, I'm in the course, and then I went, again, the 2 ways of getting there. If you go to the calendar, right, go to the calendar, and every week there's a hands-on assignment, right? And actually, let's go to the schedule, which is from the syllabus if you don't remember. Hands-on starts in week 1, so it's actually, this is reversed, no, it's Monday, the first Monday after we start, but it goes all the way to the 16th. So there's 16 of these hands-on assignments, okay? Again, you can go here, go to the hands-on assignment, takes you directly to this item. This is going to start looking familiar here. Click to see the item. So just know also, if you know what to do, you can go to hands-on, like before. Now, for some reason, even though I've done this correctly a couple times, you may notice this when you come in. It's listed from oldest to latest, so you can just hit here and change the order, and it'll list these at the top. So week 1 hands-on, it's the same thing, just a different way of looking at it. So in this case, I haven't recorded the video for this yet, so this would be in hands-on. So in your notes, again, you're still taking notes here, right? You're still taking notes, you're still doing week 1 classwork. So in this case, in your hands-on assignments, this work, when you submit it, everyone sees it. Okay, everyone in the class will see the work that you've done. So that's what I really want you to understand. And in this case, you do a main post and you have 2 replies every time. And until you do those 2 replies, you will not see the submitted. You will see an in progress. So we'll walk through that in a second. So one thing you'll need to do really the first week is learn to place things up on the cloud. Now in this case, I'm going to show you and recommend you use Google. You can use the campus. The campus does have a OneDrive. I have found I'm not that happy with OneDrive, so I'm dropping it this semester in lieu. Primarily, my instruction will show you how to use Gmail or Google Drive. But there are many options out there for putting things out on the web. And the reason I really like to introduce the concept of how to upload things into the cloud and how to share them appropriately and how to link them into Blackboard really takes what most people do. Most people are used to taking a photo, putting it up on Facebook, putting it up on Twitter, putting it up on Snapchat. That process is pretty easy because it's driven by the application or whatever you're using. All you do is hit upload. So really in doing this, you learn what happens a little more underneath the covers of this stuff. So let's turn to this and take a look. Okay, so in this first one, I'm not going to go over this particular assignment. You'll have a separate video for this, right? But one of the things you'll see is you'll have to be doing an uploading and linking. Okay, so these are common things that I want you to know you will see inside of hands-on. So depending on what we're doing, you'll need to know how to show your work by doing an uploading and sharing. So just, and by the way, the other place that is Imgur, whatever, however it's pronounced, is another free place to upload and share images as well, right? So the thing though I like about Google Drive, and I'll show you this, is I'm actually going to end up doing a print screen real quick, which is something you'll learn in the second one. So I'm just going to do a print screen real quick here. Again, you'll learn about this later. I'm going to do a full print screen. I'm going to save it. I'm going to just leave the default name for now, PNG. I'm not going to resize it, which is something you are going to end up doing later, but I'm just showing you the process. So now in Google Drive, right, I'm going to go New, I'm going to do File Upload. And now the question is, where did that go, right? So I'd have to know. In this case, it went to Docs, and then actually Pictures, sorry. I think here. And then, go into Docs. Thought it went into Pictures. So if you don't know, so that's a good question, right? So I assumed it went into Pictures. Let's see. My pictures, public pictures. I don't see here, so how would I know? I'd go back over here, go to my app, do a new one, right? Do another one. I could just do a, a full print screen again. Do it again. Now this time when I hit save, I'd pay, oh, look at this. See what I didn't pay attention to? Desktop, that's where it went, right? So so in this case, they must have changed the default, right? So that's something I wasn't used to in here. So I'd go to desktop, and I would find my image that I saved, my capture, right there it is. Again, you'll be doing other stuff. I'm just showing you the basic concept here, right? So in your notes, hopefully you're taking notes on this. So once you place something up on the cloud, then you share it. And this is where you'll get a lot of experience with the different ways to share things. So in this case, when you share them in the discussion board, you want to share them so that everyone can look at them, okay? So we call that in Google speak, I'll show you this, we call this adding people, and then you make it shareable. When you do that, you hit copy, right? So what it is, it created this link. There are what we call link shorteners or URL shorteners, which we'll talk about later. But for now, you just copy that link, and you come back over here. Again, this is not necessarily the work. This is just showing you some of the things that you'll be doing, right? Link. You'll notice I want all links to be like I want headings, right? Just because they're easier to click on. So then I did that. I did hyperlink, right? I pasted in here, and I did this. So in your notes, when you're linking to an external document, right, you give it the URL, you open it in a new window, you hit insert. And when you come back here, you can see that it is a link if you're used to that, but the way you test it is you hit save as draft. Okay, so I'm going to hit save as draft, and when the draft is listed, this is the important part, only you are seeing it, right? So right now, you've started a submission for HandsOn, a discussion board that everyone sees, but not until you hit submit. Okay, you have uploaded a file up into the cloud, Google Drive. I showed you. I've shown you how to share that. Make that link shareable means anyone can see it. You will learn as we get further into this class how to share things with me individually and not with everyone. This is something I'm planning on maybe in the 3rd week, switching our classwork to where it's Google Docs versus Blackboard for all the reasons, if you remember, I mentioned. Okay, coming back here. So now that I know it, oh, I gotta click on it. And when I click on it, it takes me to here, okay? So I uploaded that file. So here's what I want you to know in your notes. Do not use browse. And I'm gonna do what I'm telling you not to do so I can show you what it looks like when you do it. Do not attach, and this is what browse means. I'm gonna hit browse. I'm gonna find that same doc, here, that same print screen. Right? I'm going to hit save as draft here. I'm going to see if it's still saving. It's still saving. Save as draft. Oh, it's still saving. See that? Now what's happening here? So let's just talk about what's happening here is that it has, in this case, saved that one image into Blackboard. So that is really not the way we work these days. We don't attach things. We upload them to the cloud and we share them. Again, I'm trying to deepen your knowledge of this experience of sharing things on the technology that we have, because you are used to just using apps for the most part, so we're deepening that level. And this is a common thing. Now, is this all the stuff we do for HandsOn? No. This is just one of those skills you want to make sure you get at the beginning, because you'll see it again and again. So by the way, let's go back to here. Can you see how this is different now? It's got this little attachment, and when you see that, you know, and really that's like if you attach things into an email, that's the same concept. And when you see that, you're going to say, that's not the way that Rio wants them. Don't do the attachment. She won't give you points. I'm going to delete that because that's not the way I want it. Okay? So what kind of stuff are we going to do here? What kind of stuff are we going to do? Well, for the first couple weeks, we're going to do some of this. Here, I'm going to show you how to do print screens from desktops, which I kind of did here. You'll have your picture you'll do in week 1. I'll show you how to do a profile. Week 2, we'll do some stuff on your computer and mobile devices. And then on week 3, we're going to do Code Academy. Code Academy is great. You are gonna learn through taking this class. I'm still waiting for it to go back to the main screen here. You will learn how to do HTML, basic CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, these are just things that now are a part of our everyday experience. Not sure why. Oh, down here, make a website. Sorry, I should have just scrolled down, right? So what we'll have more on this later. We'll all end up completing the HTML, CSS. You can see this takes 7 hours. Now we won't do it in one hands-on. We'll do it over a series, over several hands-on assignments. We'll work on this HTML, CSS. Now the reason I think this is important is that, I mean, think about how pervasive the web is. Think about how much of the web touches your world and the world. So having a basic understanding of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is to me important to being in this world and understand concepts of computers. We'll then build a couple of programs in JavaScript in a web page, and we will also build a couple of programs in Visual Basic, and we'll do some database work. That is the one thing that distinguishes CIT 15 from CIT 12. If you've taken 12 with me before, we didn't cover programming. We did a little bit of code.org, but not much. But this you will do more of that, and then the database side. Okay, but getting back to here, okay, getting back to the concept of hands-on, right? So what you need to know is the things I've covered so far is that, you know, how they show up, the fact that when you hit draft, what that means, the ideas of uploading and what I recommend using. That's why you need a Gmail account from the start. You need to have that. Let's just go look at my grades real quick because I want to end up showing you this. Oh, let's see. I'm going to stay because I'm not sure oh yeah, I'll just hit. Matter of fact, I'm going to hit submit even though this is not done. And you might think, if I go to my grade, what should I see right now? Well, what you should probably have thought is that it would have been submitted. And if you remember, I said something about you had to do 2 replies. So until you do those 2 replies, you won't see a submit, okay? That's just the way this works. It's a discussion board. It doesn't track what you write, it just tracks the amount. So in order for me to get full points here, right, I'd have to do a reply. So what you do is you look at your fellow students' work. Now again, this is not the way to do it. I'm just showing you basically here's what triggers the Blackboard to show that it has now been complete. If I go to my grades, right? So that is there. So we're almost at the end here, but let me finish up by saying this. I've talked about this concept. So when you submit classwork, I have to grade it. When you submit my IT lab, it's just brought over, I don't grade it. When you submit chapter quizzes, I don't grade them, they're graded by Blackboard. When you submit hands-on, I have to grade them. Okay, so that's the way these things, I just want you to understand the difference, right? Is my IT lab, again, this stuff should go in your notes. My IT lab is every 90 minutes. Hands-on is as soon as it shows up. So that's the other thing. And I actually want to move over real quickly just to show you what I see. Okay, so when I'm doing grading work, here's what I do. I go into needs grading every morning, and so you can tell that there's been 2 things that we submitted today. So this is the report that I see. Now, why is this important? Why is this important? Because if you are doing work and you're wondering why it hasn't been graded, probably the first reason is that it was in progress and not submitted. And I don't go look at stuff that is in progress. I only look at this report. I look at my needs grading report. Matter of fact, that's the other thing. And this is actually starting to move into the next topic, is I grade, my goal is to grade on a daily basis. I wake up in the morning, I do my, whatever it is I do, my workout, my routine, either before or after. I jump onto Blackboard, I try to get all my grading done for that day, what's been submitted the night before, right? So my goal is to grade daily. So if you are whenever you work, hopefully you will see a quick turnaround from the time you submit the work until you complete it. Okay, I think that's enough for this time. We'll pick this up on the next video.